I didn't want to do another sport film. I felt like we'd done that with Senna, and I wanted to try something else out. And Amy, there was just an instinctive feeling. One, it was a musical. It felt like it was going to be a musical because she was a singer. And once I started to sort of look at her lyrics, they seemed like her lyrics were going to be a key part of the story. Her songs were going to be the spine of the story. She was a North Londoner. I'm a North Londoner, so she felt like a local girl. And I guess I had a big question about just how her story played out in London and the city and the media and everything around, everything that the kind of world that we live in right now. It just felt like it was very much a film that was about the world that we live in. And I didn't want to leave it 10 years. It felt like it needed to be told as soon as possible, really, because this has only happened a few days ago, it felt like. And the way everything got so confused and messy and muddy, and the way everyone seemed to pick on her, nobody seemed to care that there was a kid in the middle of it all. Her life was pretty stressful and pretty heavy. You could see she was being pulled in different directions with different people because they were all kind of in a way arguing with one another. People didn't really come together and put aside their differences to help her. They were too busy round with one another. So you can understand that it would have been difficult for anyone to ever do a proper intervention and to help her. Honestly, at the beginning, nobody was keen to talk. I think the whole situation with Amy was so painful to everyone, and the way it turned out, there was a lot of guilt, there was a lot of anger, there was a lot of issues of, people felt that other people had enabled what happened to Amy and hadn't stopped it. So it took a while just to break down the barriers for everyone to open up. People felt it was too soon after she died. It'd only been a year, really, when we started. So, the whole process was just about earning trust and for them to understand, well, look, our hope is to make the film in the kind of most honest way as possible, to show what went on and to show the real Amy, the girl she was before she became famous. The film was like 2 years in the edit suite, It took a long time to find it. It's always a challenge to get it down to the length. What do you lose? What do you have to put in there to make it make sense? It's just part of the process. And Senna was like 5 years making it. This was 2.5 years. I mean, they take a long time. There's a lot of work that goes into them. It looks like she's really happy just hanging out with her mates when she's young, picking up a guitar, getting up on stage, singing an acoustic set or something like that. My favourite footage in the film is when she's showing her mate Lauren around the apartment in Mallorca. And she puts on a voice, and I think that's really funny. You really get a sense of who this girl is. And she's great, she's so cool. So I think that's my favourite bit, where she's just putting on this voice and putting on an act. And she was a bit of a performer. You could see she could have been an actor, she could have been anything she wanted to be. Everyone, the media, the music business, TV, comedians, and the audience themselves somehow are slightly complicit, I feel, in what happened. I mean, a lot of people have seen the film and said they went away feeling a bit guilty because they all clicked on those videos. They looked at those newspapers. They looked at, the most popular websites are the tabloidy ones. The most popular newspapers are the most tabloidy ones. And somebody's looking at it. Someone's buying them. And I think that's the thing. They may have all loved her, but they also were enjoying and wallowing, I suppose, in her demise. And so I suppose I just want the audience to think a little bit about the part we all played.